Hey everyone.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
This is a good start.
Yes.
We've had a bit of
This
a
will become much more worse.
we had a bit of a technical issue. There were several technical issues, but we're here now. There we go. That's Tabletop Simulator for everyone watching this on stream. And this is for me. I had to enter the game. Alright, we're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons tonight with my good friends Lord Hudson.
Hello.
Lab Ludo, not
Hello.
Ludo. Helixia.
Hello,
And my wife.
Hi.
April.
I don't have a name.
No, you do.
April song.
Yeah, you're in full view here. Everyone has their own little Steam thing right now, but when we go into... whoa, there's like a die floating in the background there. What the hell happened there?
Yay! Die floating.
Oh no, wait, that's somebody's finger.
What?
Wait, what?
The finger from... The finger you use in Tabletop Simulator.
Okay, this
Anyway.
is gonna be interesting. The
Figure
DM is drunk.
later.
I'm not drunk, I'm
Don't.
just festively happy.
He says
Different.
he's not drunk, but he is drunk.
All right. Okay. So let's get this show on the road. So we made characters just before we start, and everyone has a character. Some of you are, well, one of you is first-time player. Some of you are long-time players, and some of you are players that wanted to play for a very long time but haven't had the chance yet. Either way, we are going to have a bit of a mixed party there. So this is a live show, and you have to keep in account that, well, because it's live, we have everything could happen, anything could happen, in game as well as out of game. So keep that in mind. If we got a screaming baby or whatever, we need to go for a bit.
Cats.
Cats meowing, we had that too
Meow.
just a couple of minutes ago. So keep that in mind if you're watching this. Please don't
Cats.
kill us if we can't help that.
Cats.
Anyway, and one more thing. You guys can chat all you want, but we'll be responding in like a small break somewhere around, well, say
Okay,
9:30, something like that.
Yeah.
9:45, something, and then we can respond to all your stuff. So yeah.
You're
So
fine
thank
with
you, and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get the show on the road. All right, your characters. The story of the characters is at this time is hold on, let me get my notes. Is that you've traveled to the small hamlet of Tillion's Fork, which is a very, very small village somewhere in the middle of the Forgotten Realms, which is a campaign setting for D&D, by the way, for those of you who don't know. It's somewhere in between the land of Sambia, which is sort of a trader nation, and the city of Shabenford, which is a sort of a city-state, somewhere tucked between the rural Dale lands and the forest, the giant forests of Carmanthor, which are the old elven lands. Hardly any elves live there now, but that's just to give you an idea of where you are. And you're going to a party. You've all been invited, very specifically been invited. I've sent you some out of character, some interesting background, as you may have read, hopefully. And you're going to a party which is basically a giant beer fest. And this beer fest is held every so many years when there's a new harvest of all kinds of produce. And then they use some of it to make beer and mead and wine and everything that holds alcohol. It's been a very famous party, especially with richer Sambians and people who know the little town. Enjoy coming there when this festive season starts. But these days it's been more on invitation based, and your characters all have had some kind of invitation to come. Anyway, you're in the middle of the town square, and the party has just begun. It's still light. It's a nice day, a nice sort of autumn day, and you're all standing there in the middle of this little town, and there's children playing, and people are already having a nice cup of grog or wine or whatever they can get their hands on. Many people are just having a good time making music, and so yeah, that's sort of the atmosphere that you're in, sort of like the carnival that we have had a couple of days ago, so yeah, there you are, and if you obviously notice each other. I mean, you may not know each other, but you can see the other characters standing because you sort of stand out. I mean, all these people around you are clearly locals, mostly, and you are not. So let's see if you can introduce yourselves. You can do that in character. You can also say, well, I'm gonna play this character, and just say it out of character. That's fine too. But just to give the viewers some idea of who and what you're playing. Not too much. Don't give away too much. But just a regular introduction. Who would like to? This is a little weird because normally you would do this on the kitchen table when you would be having sort of a natural situation. So mingle, I guess.
Well, usually we have a bit more of a bigger setup as well, but it's been somewhat what do we call it? It's been a bit of an impromptu session, so next time.
I'm freaking new to this game, so yeah, that's what you also notice, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, shall I kick off then?
Yes, please do.
Alright, I'll try to do it in character as much as possible. But I'll let you know I'm a dwarf and I'm a fighter. So I look around and I see these weird little creatures standing about me, tall creatures. And I noticed that they're not local. Because they don't look like peasants, and I know peasants, trust me. So I look at them and I go like, invitation or traditional? And I wait for a reply.
Hello there. Oh wait. Hello there. My name is Elanna.
Oh Christ! Yeah.
What?
No.
What?
Crikey.
And as you can see, I'm a little wood elf, a little bit squishy, but nice to meet you all.
Squishy. Alright. Good to know.
Normally, I'm a warrior. Now I'm squishy. Yeah. Okay. Dat was uit of karakter, de laatste zin.
Of
The
course,
last
of course.
sentence. But okay.
You get
Sorry.
it.
Alright. So what the hell is an elf doing in a beer fest?
It looked interesting, so yeah. Just looking around here.
I need a drink. Where's the nearest stall?
Well, you're actually standing in a square with several stalls lining the square, where they're all selling food and drink and whatnot. And they're all sort of appetizers. They're not large drinks or large heaps of food, because those are reserved for the tavern, which is also here in town, by the way.
But while I'm looking around, I see some other strangers which are not like they are here for the beer only.
Okay. Okay, yeah, well, you see... you
see...
okay, go on.
You see a blonde-haired girl of average height. So, simple dress, but it looks like some cleric's vestments. Priest vestments. Is looking around, enjoying herself.
Aha.
Yeah, she looks a little fiery.
What? She's on fire?
Ooh.
Well, not on fire, but she looks fiery, as in she looks like...
Fierce?
Fierce.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Like a
Ah.
radiant personality.
Ah. Oh, that is April? Or
That's April's character, yes.
Okay.
Is
Yeah,
human?
but that's...
Yeah, human.
Alright.
Yep.
Ooh.
And then there you notice if Lab's not gonna do it himself, I can do a little bit for him.
Yeah, I can do it as well. But
Okay, shall I kick you off and then you go on from where I...
sure, go ahead.
Yeah? Alright, I'll start you off. There's also a little man in a corner sitting on a little stool, and he's holding 2 appetizers, one in each hand, looking at them both, and he's going, That's
Okay.
it.
I take a sip of the appetizer in my right hand and frown a bit, grab some sort of notepad and make some notes on it. Then I take a sip from the appetizer in my left hand, and the same thing happens. I put aside the 2 appetizers next to my stool, and I grab 2 other appetizers. And as you zoom out a bit from the stool, you see the little gnome sitting between a huge array of all kinds of appetizers. And for a while, he keeps sipping and writing down things, etc.
And he looks fairly sober doing that. All things considered. He's got a big red nose, but then again, all gnomes do.
God damn it, where's this stuff? This is foul. Okay, this is going to get a report.
All right. Well, while looking for the inn, I noticed the gnome, and his behavior is something that really speaks to me. So I walk up to him and I go like, "All right, I think you've tried everything on this square. Now you're gonna tell me which the best one, and I'm gonna buy you a drink."
I'm at work. And don't you see I have enough drinks?
There ain't no such thing as enough drinks.
Well, could you guide me something of this stuff? What's it called? Best Brewer's Ale.
Alright.
What an original name. It's probably made by an elf. Ugh.
Hey, mind your mouth, please. Elves are pretty good at making alcohol, but I'm not drinking it.
What? Who's
Elves are
that?
good at making alcohol. Yay! Damn it!
Well, just because you age a lot, it doesn't mean that you know how to age proper drinks.
I look at the dwarf. If you want to buy anyone a drink, you can buy me a drink.
Not on the first date, laugh.
Okay. This is going well. I don't have to do anything.
Why should I buy you I don't understand why I get the gnome a drink. He's a connoisseur. You're just pretty.
Interesting. Let's write this all down.
That's a good point.
Seriously, if we go on like this, the first fight will be among the party members.
Oh no, don't worry about that. This is all in good spirits.
In good spirit, right?
I just want a reason why I should buy this gal a drink.
Okay. Well, for one, I have to say that this town is actually known for its mixture of races. There, basically all the races that live in Faerun, the civilized ones, have some sort of representation here. So you guys don't feel as bad around other races as you would normally do in different locations. It's actually really it's sort of an atmosphere where you can actually have this haggling and this sort of discussion. So without beating each other's brains in.
We start the journey?
What? No, we're drinking.
So,
A journey?
to give a response. Well, for one, you should get me a drink, because I've traveled all these miles, and then I get here, and no one's here to pick me up.
So you,
I'm not gonna pick
so you
up,
come to
but
the
how
first
about-
dwarf you see, and you ask him for a drink. I like your guts. I'm gonna get you. Out of
Now there's a good reception.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna leave for the
Alright.
for the stall that has the best brewer ale, and I'm gonna get 3 large pints, as large as possible.
Okay.
Okay.
The gnome grabs a big platter and goes to some of the stalls he haven't tested yet.
Okay. Well, as you move along the square, you notice the others can also see this from a distance. If you move along, you can see it from close. A seemingly innocent puppeteer is putting up a kids show in the town square. And the show is depicting the defeat of the orc god Grumsh at the hands of the elven god king Kellen and there are other elves present, obviously apart from Elixia's character. And most of them enjoy the show and are even laughing at the obvious kitsch version of their own religious story. But to the observant, some are not laughing at all, with blank expressions on their faces, taking it all in. Just to give you a bit of an atmosphere there.
Actually, I'm an investor of the food and health or food and drinks health department. Culture is not my thing, so I'm going to continue with gathering beers.
And in the meanwhile, I'm watching to the show, and I'm just simply disgusted by what is happening. And I decide to do nothing about it, but not enjoying it either.
Okay. Alright.
But I didn't get it. Who is defeating who?
The orc god Grumsh is being defeated by Koran Lorathian, the elven super god, basically. The godfather of the elves. So that's and they're puppets. It's actually very badly done if you look at the elves and how they respond to it.
Is the show any fun?
It is for humans and other races. As long as you're not an elf, you're probably gonna like it, and you're like 11 or less, then you're definitely gonna like it.
And the longer
Well,
I
I'm a
watch
little
it,
bit older than 11.
Then you probably find it a little childish. It's for kids.
The longer I watch it, I see more and more errors which are not happening in history, so I just get annoyed by it.
Well, luckily there's other things to do in this square.
Yes!
Yeah, there's more drinks and food to get. Unfortunately, the tavern still seems to be off limits. People are not going in or out. They're probably preparing for the big party in the evening. And at a certain point, the cleric, April's character, is approached by what looks like a town official. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Glor. This guy is probably got some orcish blood somewhere in his line. He looks a little weird. He's got this pale grey skin and a big black ponytail on his back, and he has something that could be tusks in the at the side of his face, although he looks more human than orcish.
Is this one of those backwards inbred villages?
Well, he definitely looks like a mixture of things. And Glor, he extends his hand towards the priestess. What is your name?
My name is Seraphine.
Ah, you are Seraphine. You are the priestess that was sent to us by the fire temple?
Of course.
Good. I would like to invite you to come to the bonfire ritual.
I've been waiting all afternoon for you.
Yes,
Where
I
were
am
you
sorry.
At the
Yes, it took a while longer than planned. I had things to do.
Yeah, I have things to do as well.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the wine and the food up to now.
Yeah, but nobody said I had to pay for it myself.
Well, we're a small village, hamlet even. I mean, it all goes into the pockets of our local clergy, and they take care of all kinds of things, and, everywhere in this vicinity. They help local farmers, okay? They're really nice. No, please,
Sure,
may I
what-
invite you cordially?
Yes. Let's go, because
Because
Yes.
Reasons.
Reasons.
yeah, let's keep
Out of character, I think your voice activation is not 100% perfect there, April, but it's okay. I don't
maybe I
think we
should
can
get closer to the mic.
get a little bit closer to the mic. I think that will help. Because your sentences are sort of choppy sometimes. And it's not the cable. But, okay. I wish I could just connect an external for you, but I don't think we have an extra socket. Unless I have a USB one, but I don't. No, I don't. I'm using it, eh? Anyway, yeah, Glor brings you to the large pile of wood which is stacked on the other side of the square near the water well. Well, obviously near the water well, you know, if something goes wrong. This thing is like 3 stories high of just piles and piles of wood. It's sort of shaped like a tree, really. And then I don't mean a regular tree, but a pine tree. It goes up like a sort of a spiky pyramid. And it's all kind of wood and coal and everything that could possibly ever burn. And Glor, he calls people around. Yes, please come and see, people. We are going to officially open the party with the bonfire. Please come and see. And small children. There are 7 small children in this hamlet. Not many, but there's not many people with actual children in the hamlet. So they are sort of seated close to the bonfire, and other people can stand around them and behind them, so they won't get hurt or won't miss anything. Obviously, they get the best seats. And Glor makes a gesture to the priestess, saying, "Well, please be our guest."
Priestess walks closely to the pile of wood.
Okay.
Waits. There's
Okay.
still a bit of light left. She waits until the sun goes down and it starts to get dusky. And sends her hands to the pile of wood. She calls, "Holy Cosset, let your fire light this evening. Let the party begin." And a flame comes from the sky and lights the bonfire.
Holy shit! Okay.
Okay, good
That's bonus role playing points. Okay. Yes, a huge pillar of fire descends from the sky onto the pile of wood as the priestess makes her gestures, and instantly lights the fire in the first light of the moon. And the party is officially started, and people cheer, and that's that. It's begun. We've begun the party, and it's all good. And let's see.
I walk up to her holding 3 pints, as big as I could find. And I look at her and say, "That's a damn nice trick. Have a drink, lass."
Thanks. Take a sip. Oh, it burns. I like it.
He picked the right one for you.
Hey. Have you seen that bloody little gnome anywhere?
No, I haven't.
He's so tiny, you keep losing him.
The position where you know where first the stool was is pretty much walled by a wall of kegs stacked on top of each other. And from time to time you hear tiny exclamations of either encouragement or disgust.
I think I phoned him. I walk up, knock a few over. Here you go, Mr. Gnome. A nice pint on me.
Ah, thank you.
And somewhere in the far distance, you heard a little elf talking to herself.
Why?
I don't know. I was throwing myself in because it's rid of me is boring. But okay, and was starting a conversation with nothing, and you guys are in the meantime wondering what she was doing.
Yes. She's seemingly speaking in riddles as well. It's an Elvish language you don't quite follow. And when she does this, I'm gonna spice this up a little bit, Helixia. Just tell me if I go too far.
Okay.
Her eyes roll a little bit back into her head and go all white. It looks weird. It's probably an elven thing.
I nudged the gnome. How many does he have?
Don't know, I'm busy with work.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Whiffs of good food are starting to emanate from the inn. And as you are standing there, and the elf's talking to herself, and the gnome is testing more food, and the priestess is admiring her own work at the bonfire,
Greedy.
and the dwarf does what he does best, and that's kick back another mug of ale. The doors open of the tavern, and people are invited inside. More beer kegs are opened, and everyone is invited for more tasting sessions. The smallest children are led away cheering to a nearby barn, where they are apparently having a sleepover party. As you consider making your way into the inn, you notice a young girl peering into the local well, shouting unintelligible kids' language down, much to the entertainment of the adults passing by.
Okay, who let Did you give any of that stuff to the child dwarf, or?
Me? No. That's too precious a drop to give to children.
Me waking up, closing the conversation and see the child, and I run to the child and decide to have a conversation with the child, and
She's peering down. She's peering down the well, shouting. Well, probably something. You're not sure because it's sort of echoing and busy.
Glorious and that kind of stuff. I say,
Okay.
No. You're saying it all wrong. It needs to be rush. I don't know.
What do you mean, lady? I'm talking here. I'm talking to the little man in the well.
Yeah, the little man in the well is speaking Elvish, and you're speaking some gibberish.
No, he doesn't speak Elvish.
What the kind of language does he speak then?
I'm not sure, but he always waves, and then I wave back, and he's my best friend, and lives down the well.
As I looking down the well, I see the little gentleman as well, and waves back to the little gentleman.
No, you don't see the little gentleman.
Okay.
There's nothing there but water and rocks.
Just a question.
Yep.
Is any of the beers I just tested made with water from this well?
Well, that's difficult to say. That is difficult.
Good question.
Could be taken on holiday. No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay, I keep on drinking.
Okay. It's made with fresh spring water, man. It's not done from this well. This well is like the local well. You don't make beer out of well water.
Well, if this well isn't well, then
this child might just be imagining something.
So
Anyway, yes, Amanda, you're having your character is having a conversation with this little girl, and she says,
Apart from the little man, sometimes the man with the red eyes comes, and he is actually really interesting. Would you like to see him? Shall I call him?
Yeah, sure, I want to see him.
Man with the red eyes! Man with the red eyes, come and see us. I want to wave. I want to introduce you to someone. I've got a new elven friend here.
Nothing. I just play along with the little girl.
Okay. Well, it doesn't seem to do much at all. She's just yelling and calling them and etc. And yes.
Is it possible I could understand the language she was speaking before?
I'll have to open your character sheet for a second. Hold on. See if you actually speak this language. You are the one with more than just one language, I think. Let's see.
I had quite a few, though.
You did?
Yeah, I had
I
quite
would
a
have
few.
to let's see. What language do you? I'll start with. Yeah,
I
you're a
speak 3
researcher.
languages. Common,
I
dwarf, and
find-
drunk.
Common dwarf.
I speak those 3 as well.
Oh yeah, you speak common, elvish, draconic, and celestial.
So
Actually,
she
what she's been using does sound a little bit familiar to Elanna. She's been mixing elvish with draconic, if you could make anything from what she's saying. But it still doesn't make very much sense.
Aha.
And the priestess also sort of, well, she sort of thinks this is something she's heard before somewhere.
I remember when I heard it.
No, not really. It's but it rings it doesn't sound like just BS language. It's actually sounding like a language you might recognize as a language. But yeah, it's not really it's not structured enough to take out specific words and say, well, this is more than just a lucky guess by this child. But how she knows these words is completely unknown to you. Okay. So, at some point, when you're having this little chat with the girl, she introduces herself as Leda, and she is the daughter of the local woodworker.
Mm-hmm.
And she says she always sits by the well because her little friend is in there. She has very little contact with the other kids, and she doesn't like the fact that she has to go to the sleepover party tonight because she basically never ever plays with those children.
Mm-hmm.
That's her story, and that she tells that in about 2 minutes' time, as children would. And eventually, a priestess from the local clergy comes along, which our priestess recognizes immediately as a priestess of Contea, which is the goddess of farmers. And she says, "Okay, Leda, it's way past your bedtime. Come on, you must also go to the barn."
But I don't want to go to the barn.
Yes, you have to go to the barn because, people are going to be having a bit more of a rowdy party, and you can't be outside when they do.
Oh yeah, I remember from last time.
Okay, well, reluctant, she goes with the priestess to the barn, and she leaves you at the well, peering down, wondering what the hell she was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the dwarf is getting more drunk.
For the inn, as soon as the other priestess arrived.
Okay.
Farmers.
You both entered the tavern, and
Firelas!
yeah, it's quite crowded in here. A lot of locals have taken their seats, their usual seats, and shared their seats with the guests from out of town. And behind the bar is a stout dwarven female, clad in a short-sleeved leather jerkin and matching pants, and she stands out. There are other dwarves here, a handful. But she stands out because her head is all but shaven, except for a braid carried on the left top of her scalp, hanging down her left cheek. She greets you with a nod and a quick grin, then gestures to the large hammer on the wall behind her, in a don't try and make trouble kind of way. Then she broadly smiles whilst eyeing you and continues cleaning out a mug with a grimy piece of cloth.
That's my kind of dwarven woman.
Why did I expect that?
All right. In the corner, you also notice another character that stands out from the crowd somewhat. There's a gaunt, pale elf sitting in the corner with long silver white hair. His green-brown robes seem to flow with the breeze coming in through the window, as he carefully flips the pages of one of the books in front of him, adjusting his spectacles that slide down his nose. A black cat sits next to him on the table, seemingly staring into the book, occasionally looking into the crowd around him and putting a paw on the elf's sleeve as to reassure him he is still there. So there we go. That's also one of the characters here.
It's very interesting me, so I walk down to the man with the grey hair, long grey hair, and his cat, and I'm starting a conversation with him. And I say, "Hello, how are you doing? What is an elf like you doing here?"
Why, I live here, he answers in a very clear elven tongue. And who might you be?
What did he ask?
Who might you be?
My name is Elanna. I decided to go to the parties. I was invited.
Ah, I am Teirai Lord Ratuluin. What? But you can call me Taylor, everyone does.
Taylor, that's a little bit easier to say indeed.
Well, not for most elves, but for most other folk, yes. This is a moon elf. And moon elves have a fairly different way of speaking from wood elves. So much more refined in their eyes, and to you they're more squishy.
Even more squishy.
Wimps. They don't know how to climb a tree.
Aha, I do. But okay. Do you mind me asking what you're reading?
Ah, yes. I'm reading about the grand ruin of Cormanthor, which is a settlement that the elves had here many ages ago. There's not much left, except maybe a couple of ruins here and there, and some underground bits. And I'm trying to find out about a certain item. Yeah, I won't bore you with it. It's not that interesting.
It sounds interesting to me, but okay. I will leave you to it. Bye-bye.
Thank you. You may come later, and I might have something interesting for you, little wood elf.
Thank you, sure. Bye.
He winks at you.
And I wave back.
Okay. What?
I wave back. Okay,
This guy just flirted with you, and he must be like 1,000 years old.
Yeah, that's why I'm just waving at him, because I am a little bit younger than that.
You're quite a bit younger.
Yeah, around 700 years. Yeah, for you guys' information, I'm 350 or 250. Damn it.
Yeah, something in that order. All right.
350.
All right. Another thing you guys notice in the inn is that people are starting to gather around a table in the middle of the inn, where you see a couple of stout men sitting down, and they're given some large mugs, and the two men are facing each other. As bets are placed on them by the townsfolk, you gather that there's some sort of contest going on. The first man at the table wears a leather apron covered in soot, and his bald head is covered in sweat, staring at the other man with a determined grin. The other has a somewhat cleaner, common attire, wearing his red-brown hair along with a bushy moustache, returning the grin of his opponent. On the table are beer mugs, mostly empty, and half a dozen filled. One half of the crowd goes, "Kurt! Kurt! Kurt! Kurt!" while the other goes, "Oscar! Oscar! Oscar! Oscar!" as the two gentlemen down the next mug, laughing heartily as they both slam their mug down on the table.